today that I didn't come up with, but it helped me massively get to a real sticky point in my wholesaling career. And what I want to do today is talk to your future self. I don't care how old you are. It doesn't matter to me, because you have to fight to be a wholesaler and you have to understand where you're going. Because if you look at it from a perspective of like a risk today, even outside of you, everybody thinks you're crazy. And because they don't see where you want to go in 5 to 10 years. And if you can help evaluate that, I can help you out today. So do me a favor, you have the comments. This is a great place. If you have a question, put your question in there. I'll do my best to answer it. Also, make a friend. It is the comment section. We talk about wholesaling. It's the only thing we talk about here. That and a lot of parodies of life, some occasional father advice. But I'm here to tell you that if you've thought about quitting wholesaling, I want to walk you through it. So, and then what I will do is I will put up a link here if we have some time, which we should have more than enough time. And about halfway through, if you want to hop on and do a one-on-one and talk about anything wholesaling, maybe a deal you're working on, maybe you need some help with your mindset. I don't care. You want to talk about PPL, you want to talk about direct mail, you want to talk about cold calling, you want to talk about texting, you want to talk about X leads, anything wholesaling related, like I'm fair game, baby. That's what I'm going to do. So a couple quick announcements. If you have the X plan with X leads, we are having our conference event in Orlando in November. It's November 11th and 12th. You're invited for free. Come out, hang out with me and Zach. I believe we'll be there. We're going to be there 3 or 4 days, hang out with you guys like 2.5 days. And it's a lot of fun. I like doing the live thing because I get to meet a lot of you guys I see online, and we can kind of go from there. So I'm starting a few questions on here. Guys, you sit here and talk about the Texas law. You realize that law has been in effect for 18 years. There's just one tiny little amendment. And honestly, it just changes on communication. So we'll talk about it though. Can we, Joshua says, hey, can we buy tickets? It's up to Zach. How are you? The problem is I can only take so many people and I have to find out who's coming. So once we get that ironed out by the end of this month, we should let you know if something's available on it. So we'll figure it out because some people bring other people in here. So, okay, let's jump into it, man. I'm looking at all the questions on here. It's awesome. So we will get to so if you have a question, put it in here. I promise you I comb through it. So let's talk about mindset of a wholesaler. So first of all, to do wholesaling, you're in one of two categories. You just don't think like normal people. You don't know why normal people just like do what they do. And you've decided that's what I wasn't put on this earth for. I've got to do something bigger and better. And then you found wholesaling. Or you're just crazy. You're either one or the two, because I've never met anyone either way. Now, there's a third one, which is a wishful thinker who wants to live in a fantasy land in the future, but never doing anything in the present to make it happen. I can't help you. And if you're watching with that mentality, dude, just get out now, because I'm going to be your worst nightmare. I had to brutally go through all the painful steps in wholesaling, and it wasn't easy. And is it any different in 2025 and it was 2003? I had the same challenges you guys, just different types of obstacles. Oh, Rick, there was more motivated sellers then. Yeah, there was no information. There was no way to connect with them. We door knocked. So there's plenty of solutions to do it. But what I'm telling you is the same problems exist today that when I got started. And I want you to, so like, here's an example. You guys saw the post my son made. We have a gentleman that's incarcerated that's wholesaling and doing more deals than most of you. And keep this in, guys. He has to smuggle in or get access to a cell phone. He has to get data. And he's using his, what do they call it? Commissaries or whatever it is, to trade, to get wholesale deals, because he's thinking about his future when he gets out of jail. And he's got like another 4 or 5 years to go. So he's stacking his cash and investing it. Yeah, you can do it from jail. I'm just as shocked as you are. But dude, this guy wants it so bad. And he loves the opportunity. Why most people sit in jail either reflect, they read the Bible, which there's nothing wrong with any of that. But dude, he's making a future for when he gets out. So he's already preparing for his future self. And that's what I want to do with you today. With your permission, prepare you for your future self. Because I wish to God somebody had this conversation the day I started in wholesaling, because it just would have been a heck of a lot smoother. So Mike asked what kind of leads the guys get in prison. Go look at the post my son made. Like he pulls government lists and he just hammers away. How he does it, I'm not quite sure, because I'm not going to go visit him in his jail cell, but like this guy's been a regular. So keep in mind, I had a kid on from South Africa. I think that was Thursday. He just got his first deal, made $6,500. Yes, he had to split it with someone, but like the average wage in his country is $250 per year. And they just grossed $6,500. Now that ain't chump change. You know why? He wants it so bad. What's the guy in jail? He wants it so bad. So before I get into addressing your quitting issues, question is how bad you want it. Because just go back to the one of the best motivational quotes I ever heard was from Eric Thomas, is how bad do you want it? When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you want to create like they always say in life, you can either have 1,000 problems or one problem. Trust me, 1,000 problems is much easier to deal with one problem, because one problem, stick your head underwater for 30 seconds and tell me if you think of any other problem other than breathing. And that's it. It's focus. And when you get clarity and focus, you can get stuff done. So Eric Thomas says it the best. When you want to wholesale as bad as you want to breathe, it will happen. And everybody says they want to wholesale, but at the end of the day, the ones that do the consistent actions every day, those are the ones that actually win. So now we got to talk about how can we get those consistent actions, and what do I do when I have thoughts of quitting popping up in my head? So first of all, just take your hand, just smack it upside the head. That's what I kind of do. Or when my wife thinks I've done something dumb, I just kind of do it for her. It just kind of makes it easier. So let's walk through, I want to walk through something and just kind of give you some feedback on it. So first of all, who here has been to a Tony Robbins event, especially like UPW? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. The really cool thing is you can do it online now, even in the comfort of your home, if you commit to it. I believe it's 3.5 days you have to commit to. Much harder, in my opinion, to do it in your home. Way too many distractions. But if you've been to his event, I've been to his event, I think 5 times. That's how enamored I am by this gentleman. And he has a specific way to motivate people and communicate to them. And I'm anything but a Tony Robbins. I'm more of a wholesale. It's not a coach. It's more of a wholesale. Let's get shit done type of deal. That's what I do. I can't stand all the pandering and coaching. It's like at some point, pull your lists, make your calls, and run hard as you can, and show up every day and get your mile run better each day. That's how you win in wholesaling. So if you've been to his event, I'm going to walk you through something. If you've been through it, just bear with me. I'm not Tony Robbins. I did not invent this method, nor did Tony Robbins, for all fair purposes, but it's powerful. And if you can see yourself doing this at any time, it will help you. And this will help you even outside of wholesaling. But the problem is we're trying to meet the future version of ourselves 10 years from today. Very, very hard to do. And so there's a specific method that you can do that will help you out. So if you guys ever seen the movie, The Christmas Carol, let me know in the comments if you've seen that movie. It's a classic in our family. We just kind of always watch it. Oh, it's black and white. We love good holiday movies, although the Hallmark has really changed that. I don't know if it's for the better, but Christmas in July is very popular in my house. But the idea is, if you've ever seen The Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, he owns a business. I think it's in the 20s or the 30s. I forgot. It's sometime between the 1910 to 1930 it was filmed. Somebody can look it up and give us specifics on it. But you got to understand. So Peter's got it right here. The ghost of Christmas past. And so here's the problem is a lot of you sit in your ghosts of your past and you let it rule your entire life. In fact, most of our programming up here has been subconsciously programmed in our minds directly from our parents, whoever raised you, by the age of 7. Did you know that a lot of your fears and tendencies are already built in your mind at age 7? Now, you and me both know we had very little control at age 7. We just need someone to build us up to make the right decisions. I didn't really have that guidance, but so Ghost of Christmas Past. So here's basically how this is going to run. The idea is to evaluate your past, look at your present and the future. And this whole, I want you to understand, this is much more than a story. The idea is pain versus pleasure. So what do you think the biggest driving factor of people is, pain or pleasure? Let me know in the comments because I already know the answer to this. You have to know the difference between the two, because if not, if you don't know the answer honestly, I already know what the answer is for you, because this is how life works. So everybody's got it like nailed right here. Pain. You will do anything in your own personal power to avoid pain. You'll go to the ends of earth. Think about it. You guys, if you see any type of movement, looks like a snake or jumping around at you, you freak out. It's like built into you biologically. Now, I'm a little bit opposite because I actually enjoyed snakes as a kid, until one got loose in the house and my mother berated me for weeks on end because I never found the damn thing. And it was a big, big black racer. But anyways, most people see a snake and they freak out. Never been bitten by a snake, never been chased by a snake. Do you know most snake fears are driven from movies and TV shows? Just to show you how bad it's messed up in your mind. Most of you have barely ever seen a snake, been bit by a snake, but you're horrified of them. The odds of you getting killed as a person by a snake are slim to none. But we make it like one of our greatest fears. And the only reason it is one of your greatest fears is because you've never dealt with it head on and you let other people program your mind that it's really, really, really bad for you. And I'm here to tell you is you have to understand that, see, Pete's got a pet snake. Snakes are actually quite sweet if you get the right ones. They're kind of like cats. Like my daughter's cat, I love it to death, but it's like a feral cat from the Humane Society. And every now and then this cat doesn't want anything to do with you, and she'll give you a swat and you'll be bleeding and you'll need like a tourniquet when you're done with it. And every now and then when you're petting her belly, she just latches down on your hand and it hurts like hell. And snakes are kind of the same way. There's some very docile types of snakes, but once you understand a snake's tendency, they're not all that threatening. Now, I don't want you to go out and collect poisonous snakes, but maybe Pete can give us some advice on them. But snakes have a purpose in life. You shouldn't be killing them and all this other stuff. They rarely, rarely ever affect humans unless you're in South Florida and you deal with pythons. So the pythons are eating the alligators here. They got one on record for 26 feet a few months ago, and they're out of control and they're huge animals. So that's my only exception to the snake argument. But the thing is, my purpose here is you almost 98% of you are fears of snakes, but nothing's ever happened in your life to have a snake affect you. Most of you have never even seen a snake other than a zoo or like a pet somewhere. And I'm just telling you, man, like even when a snake bites you, past a venomous snake, I was a kid like raised on like going in canals and fishing. And so you had to quickly identify if it was a brown snake, a water snake, or a moccasin. A water moccasin, one bite, it can kill you pretty quick, especially a small kid. And so you had to respect snakes. So you had to understand them. It's just like when you talk about like a GUN. If you understand how it works, how it operates, what facilitates it, and what's the big danger of it, you respect it a lot more. But if you don't, you just run around and you're scared to death of it. And that's what most people do with snakes. So keep that image in your mind. So what we have to do is we have to first go, okay, why am I wholesaling? If you do not have a strong belief why you're wholesaling, I promise you it's going to fail. I don't want to go deep on this part, but your belief if you want more time with your friends, your family, if you want to provide for your family the things that were never provided for you, most importantly, time, especially with children and anybody in your family, because we're all limited in time. We all came in this world and we'll all be taken out. That is not up to debate. So the most precious thing is you have time. Don't ever forget that. Some of you focus on money alone. Money ain't going to make you happy. I promise you, time will make you happy. So we don't know when our exit plan is, so we have to make the best. So then the next question is, why? Why are you really wholesaling? Let's just be, if it's purely about money, I don't know if it's going to last for you. Now, money is a byproduct of wholesaling. And if you do it correctly, the money will come. But if you're strictly doing this just to get rich and nothing else, I already know the handwriting's on the wall. You actually have to be willing to help people run an efficient business and survive. You can't just make money. It's not, if it was that easy, I would love to make money and do nothing else. But the true secret to making money is help as many people as you possibly can. And I believe wholesaling is the unbiased way to really minimize your risk and maximize your reward. So we always talk about risk versus reward. Most of you are attracted to wholesaling because you minimize your risk and maximize your reward. So let me ask you this. If you know you came into this life screaming buck naked and you're going to walk out the same way, you can't take everything with you, why do you think wholesaling is risky? I'm just curious. Risky versus what? I would love to hear in the comments. And those of you contemplating wholesaling or contemplating quitting wholesaling, I'd really like to hear from you. Like, what is your biggest fear? What is like driving you freaking nuts? Because I've already told you, you're going to go and leave this earth 100%. You're not staying here. So like, if I get it, if you thought you were going to live forever and you never had to take a risk, I'd probably do things differently too. But the reality is here, we're all here between hopefully 85 and 125 years. I want everyone to live like 125 and be on the back of the Smucker's jar. But the reality is you're not. So the average male is going to live about 78 and a half years old because women are smarter and they're a little bit brighter. They probably live like in the early 80s. But that's statistically, everything else is overtime. So what are you waiting for? Like, what is your biggest fear? Because you're not going to stay here. And the grave is full of people with regrets that never did a damn thing with their life. So to me, the biggest risk you can take is by doing the status quo. I don't even care if you wholesale or not. I'm biased. All right. I don't even hide it from you. I wish more influencer stuff would just say it. I'm biased. I believe everybody should wholesale, but that's just me. But I get it. So Jeff says here, change is hard. Eric says you got to solve the seller's problem. So guys, Jeff says I need to retire and achieve freedom. So I will tell you, we'll talk about this. I don't believe in retirement. If you play your cards right, you never really have to retire. Look at like Warren Buffett and stuff. And Warren Buffett's got more money he wants to do with, but he still works because he enjoys it. Like he enjoys the camaraderie of talking to everybody. He enjoys studying the market. And I've always enjoyed that about wholesaling and real estate. So we'll talk about that. But anyways, we talked about the why. So let me make this statement right now and you understand this. Your future self depends on what you do in the present today. Your future is right now. Your future is in the actions you take after you watch this live stream. You don't believe me? I promise you. If you want to find out where someone's going, go spend 2 to 4 weeks with them in their life. Not a day or two, because you're never going to get an accurate picture. I love when like coaches and gurus go, come spend the day with me in my office. Bullshit. Complete lie. No, because you're really going to get what they do all day. So, no, it's going to be a theatrical show. You come and hang out with me for a week, you are not going to be excited. You're going to be like, are you kidding me? This is what you do? Yeah. It's like clockwork. 2 hours meetings first thing in the morning. I do an hour before for myself. I take a break. I get mentally cleared. I do another hour of meetings. Then I work on deals. I deal with my internal employees. I go work out, and then I come back. I work on deals. I do a live stream, and I do another 2 hours of meetings. Most people can't handle that crap. I'll be honest, there's something I don't even want to do it, but it's what's necessary for me to grow as a business owner, a wholesaler, to get in the right direction. And honestly, I fought this for a long time, and it's just easier for me to comply, get the work done, because my future self 10 years from now is waiting for me. And it changes every year when I do it. So let me walk you through on how it works. So if everybody understands, your future depends on what you do today. Right now, you have to understand how to do it. Um, being a So let's walk through this. So it's called the Dickens method. And if you ever go to a Tony Robbins, the Unleash the Power Within, he walks you through basically like a Christmas carol. And he does it in a meditative state, which is really, really cool. And I want you to understand there's basically three ways to do this. So we talk about your past, we talk about your present, and we talk about your future. And if you go and watch this movie, you guys should watch it. It's more powerful in December because people's always reflecting on life events, especially with the family, is you just walk through the progression. Because most of us are just dealing with the stuff we have on our plate today. And you have a hard time some people, all they do is look to the future and they never do anything in the present. And then there's people that all they do is live in the past, and all their past decisions dictate their future events. And the idea is to give you a summary of kind of your life based on all the decisions you made, and then you have a decision to make at it. And that's what I want to do today. So with the permission of you guys kind of walking through this, I want to kind of walk you through it. So the first thing you have to do is spit out, and I need you guys to put in the comments, what is your most limiting belief when it comes to you and wholesaling? Like, what is it that's just stuck in your mind that you can't get past? And it constantly plays in your mind over and over. Let me give you an example. My biggest fear starting out wholesaling is I was going to run out of deals. You're going to run out of deals, Rick. You only did one. How the hell are you going to do that again? And then I did two. I go, crap. Is there a third one? And then I just kept going. And there's fourth and the fifth. Guys, I'm over 3,500 now. It was the most ridiculous fear I had in my brain, but I obsessed for it for the first 2 years. I'm going to run out of deals. 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 There's no way I can market and find this many deals. So what you want to do is throw up, like, what is the one thing that freaks you out about wholesaling that you're honestly struggling with? Because if you do not tackle that demon, it's going to become a monster that you cannot tame. And the sooner you do it, the better off you are in wholesaling. Because I find some people get in the wholesaling and they go, as long as I never have to make a cold call, I go, then just don't do it. Because at some point, you're going to have to call a stranger. Now, if you don't want a mass cold call, there's ways to navigate around it. It's going to cost you some money and some time. But I took that route and I'm okay with that. But to say I never want to talk to a stranger, dude, go get a 9-to-5 job. Because all you are is going to talk to strangers on your 9-to-5 job. You got to call customers and rectify problems. And you're going to do it at the lowest pay scale, and you're going to be paid the least amount of money to do it. So, so let's just walk through it. And I appreciate you guys sharing it. But D'Angelo says cold calling. Dude, one of my biggest fears, I just avoided it. And I still made it work. And I regret it. Brittany said she struggles with enough money for the programs to work efficiently. And she's got a valid point. Like, listen, some capital does give you the luxury of expediting the process. Can you do it without it? You can. It's just harder. I don't even hide that from you, but it's there for you. Let me put, a bunch of them. Icy says, it'll never work for me. I'm not an entrepreneur. Just so you guys know, entrepreneurs are some of the most messed up people in life. They have bold ideas. They have a hard time executing it and staying on task, especially when the shit hits the fan. So Jason says here, so Jason had the guts and signed 5 contracts, but he had to cancel all of them. So Jason didn't lack the guts. He just probably lacked the local market knowledge. And Jason, I've done this exact same thing, especially when I go into a virtual market. But the thing is, guys, all this is the journey of wholesaling, and you'll learn it. So let's do this real quick. So what you want to do is you've got to tackle your problem up front. Just hit it head on, explore it, research it, play with it for a week. I don't give a crap. But like if you let it fester and you ignore it, you actually give it more power. Now, the Stoic approach doesn't work here, where silence is like the ultimate uh, equilibrium when it comes to it. That's a lie. It doesn't work that way. So the truth was, I was raised, is this new Texas law is what's stuck in my head ever since the new law passed. It's not a new law. It's been there for 18 years. They just amended it. And all they changed on there was your communication method, and they include texting. But here's the question. Are you selling anything? Are you selling anything as a wholesaler? I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling a service. I'm just seeing if you want to sell your asset. And under the definition of the law, you do not qualify as a solicitor. What happens is there's people that have gone out there and equated the wholesaler as the solicitor. What are you selling? Tell me, what are you selling? And why for 18 years no one's been prosecuted on this law? Now, they included texting because people are abusing the crap out of it. And once again, if you're offering your service to buy a property and you're not a licensed real estate agent, you tell me how you're breaking this law. So you're getting all worked up over something that doesn't even come to fruition. Do I want you to get sued? No. Do I want you to test it? No, but you need a firm stance to understand. If the law is written this loosely, how are they going to nail you? Think about this. Oh, it's $5,000 per infraction. Tell me what you're selling. Tell me what you're selling and I'll tell you what you're violating. But if you can't tell me what you're selling, how are you going to nail me on this law? Just to kind of go, read it. And the only reason you're upset with it is because you're letting the mainstream media shove stuff down your mouth. And I promise the people that have a cure for this have a product to sell you. Buy my funding, buy my course. I have a program that will make you a legal wholesaler. You see, it's very easy to sell the cure to the disease you've created on your own, which is fear. And fear, people freak out. So the Texas law, it's not even a fear. It's fact. Just go read it. So, dude, Peter's got it. He doesn't want to go back to his 9 to 5. And that's always been my driving factor of why I've done wholesaling. And I've been in this 23 years. But here's the difference, Peter, is when you're a wholesaler, you're not doing 9 to 5. A lot of times you're doing from 7 to 9 p.m. at night. Yeah, you're going to work harder as a wholesaler. People are like, what? It's true. Jonathan says not being able to close. Well, Jonathan, I know you've been on the stream long enough. Wholesaling is not about closing. It is about walking people down a funnel and persuading them. But at the end of the day, if you can develop trust, a relationship, and solve the seller's problem, you should get the deal. You won't get them all. But this isn't, I would love to give you a Grant Cardone program where I'm going to tell you how exact words to sell. I love Andy Elliott to death. Guys, this isn't car sales. And here's the fundamental difference. I want you to understand this. If I go to buy a luxury car, say a Lamborghini, a Porsche, whatever it is, whatever exotic car you want to do I want it or do I need it? Think about this. And you already clearly know the answer is I want it. So why do I have to go through this crap? Like if I need it, it's just a different process. If you want it, you have to be sold because there's a lot of competition out there. Now, is there competition amongst other wholesalers? Absolutely. And the way you sell yourself and beat the others up is demonstrate and earn that relationship and show by trust how you want to help them. And here's a simple trust factor I do with every seller. I go, Mr. Seller, regardless of the outcome today, I'm going to do everything in my power to help you get this house sold. They're like, really? Yeah, that's it. Even if I don't buy it, I'm going to walk you, because at the end of the day, I just feel better about myself and I get it done. Let's see here. Lots of questions here. Okay. It's not about the hours. Yeah, I got it. So if we do that, we have to understand is, so first of all, when we go in our past, talk about our past. What's the problem with your past? What emotions does that bring up for most people when we talk about the past? On average, if you had just a quick thought, if I talk about your past, do most people talk about the good or the bad? I already know the answer to it. You already know the answer to it. When people talk about their past, do they mostly conjure up good thoughts or like does it upset them? And so Jeff does it best here. Everybody. So the thing is, your memory has this way of finding everything wrong you've done in your life. And here's the really cool part. You've actually done a lot more good than bad, but you seem to only remember the bad events because they're traumatic and they're burnt in your brain. So this is called going back in time, depress. Depress means to pull back. And the full word they use for psychoanalysis, whatever, psychiatrist, whatever, is depression. And do you know what percentage? Let's see, percentage of U.S. What percentage of people do you think are depressed in the United States? It's like, so they say 13. Um, let's see, diagnosed. I don't have time to do Chat GPT, but um, honestly, I've seen plenty of people over my life. um, I believe you can walk into any doctor's office. I mean, any doctor's office. And if you don't have a positive thought that, hey, they will diagnose you as depressed. And you know why they're going to diagnose you as depressed? Put it, John says 35%, 40%. I would say, I think the numbers are much higher than that. So depression is a normal part of life. The thing is when you stay there, it's not normal. It's not healthy. And when people have bad thoughts associated with bad memories, specifically people who passed away, we don't want anyone to be hurt. And they do have medications for it. But we are now medicating kids under the age of 10 for depression. I mean, guys, I get it in some special case scenarios, but like all the kids in high school now, I think more than a third of them are taking some sort of depression medication. And it's like, listen, every drug you take is going to have a reaction with your body. And the thing is, the one thing I've learned is in depression, I'm okay if someone I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer here. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. But to be on medicine the rest of your life so you're not depressed seems like kind of counterproductive to me. And if you go see someone and tell them you're not like, they will instantly write you a prescription. You think I'm kidding? I once told the doctor I wasn't like, I was just a little bit down in the dumps, and they wrote me a prescription on the spot. 5 minutes, didn't even barely know me. Now, I never took it because I thought it's ridiculous, especially with a guy with ADHD. But I'm just telling you is depression, the problem with dealing with the past is you're just going to find the bad stuff. For most people, yes, there's good memories. But if all we are is going to talk about the bad stuff, then that's when we hang on it. And that's what you can understand. Your past is about depression, good or bad. So some people learn from their past and some people learn from their past. Did you just hear what I said? I said it twice. Some people learn from their past and then some people learn from their past. Regardless, you're either going to learn how to fix your behaviors to get to the desired results you want, or you're going to learn to perpetuate these behaviors so you have something to constantly fall back that you're the victim, you're depressed, it's not your fault, and that's the problem. Either way, you're going to learn. So the point of today's exercise is to try to give you choices and tools so you can do that. So if we understand that, you want to go back to your past. And I want you to just rapidly go through your mind. If you can ever sit down and meditate for like 20, 30 minutes, the best way to do it. So just find a quiet space. And I want you to float back from like the age of 5 or 6 when you've had your first memories. I don't even know when my first memory was. I would love to hear what you guys is. Probably 5 or 6 is when you kind of grasp life. And then just walk through the full envelopment of a child and the excitement. And think about the stuff that scarred you that creates some of your issues today. And then I want you to don't even put it in the comments because I'm not here to do therapy with everybody, but what are those limiting beliefs that just so burnt in you now you can't get out of it and you're just stuck? And here's the part. I already talked about the snake with you. It's a BS fear because you never got bit or chased by a snake. Some of you might have. I've been bitten by more snakes than I know what to do with, but snakes were my hobby as a kid. And like Paul's got a snake now, maybe he can show us a picture of it. But the reality is, um, it's usually an unsubstantiated fear that you've perpetuated over life that usually probably started in childhood. So I am not a counselor. Like, I'm just not here to tell you. I'm just telling you a lot of the crap you do is crushing you that has no bearing on what you're doing now. And so you got to go back to your past. So you can go back when you're 4 or 5 and go all the way up to if you're in your 20s and just kind of work through it. I'll be honest with you, most of the stuff I learned really before 20, other than the bond with my family and learn how to communicate and socialize and be a good citizen, I didn't learn a lot of skills. I learned some great sports skills, and some of it translated to my wholesaling, especially wrestling. But I'm here to tell you, you got to go through it. And I'm going to tell you, when you do this, it will come blatantly clear. It's scary. And you got to go, the reason I don't like confrontation is when that time my dad put me in that position, I'm like, crap. So just write it down. And once you do it, what you're trying to do is identify your limiting belief. So some of you can spit it out like shit, Rick. I don't even have to go back in time. I know exactly what it is. And then you write it down, and then I want you to confront it. And here's what you're going to do. Is it true? Did it actually happen? And what is the outcome of my life since I've embraced this limiting belief? And honestly, this absolutely changed my life. My biggest fears were having people accept the things I was doing, meaning getting their consent. I was obsessed with a kid. I just needed consent. Why? I had 3 siblings plus me. That was 4. Everything was a fight in my family. So you had to run everything by everybody. It got to the point where I was the youngest. I had to run it by my older sisters, my older brother, when my father was around, and then get by my mother. And I just came very compliant. And it held me back bad. And I'm telling you I always wanted everyone's acceptance because that's what I thought is how you got love. And because of that limiting belief, I really struggled bad in my 20s, like horribly. And if you understand that, if you could just grab it and just travel and understand it, like most people have, like people who have a major fear of flying an airplane. Is it a real fear or not? Can the plane crash? Yeah. But if you have that theory, then you probably shouldn't get in a car because someone can cross that yellow line. And to me, a car is more risky than a plane. I'm not diminishing anyone's fears here. Trust me. I had the biggest fear of the dentist for the long time. I just decided I'm going to do the pain versus pleasure. For me to get what I want out of life and chew my food without having pain, I'm going to have to go through some work on my mouth of some past mistakes. And I just have to get through it. Because if not, I can't chew my food. I'm going to have to drink it through a straw, and I'm probably going to gain 100 pounds. So we're going to talk about the pain and the pleasure. But if we have to do this, identify your limiting, that one thing that's just carried on that you've just keep kicking to the corner, and now it's festered into your wholesaling career. So we have to find out. And then here's the next question is, how many opportunities have you missed because of this limiting belief? How many opportunities have you missed because of your limiting beliefs of your past? And I promise you, you've missed some great opportunities. Now, wholesaling's in front of you, or you embraced it, or you're thinking about quitting. This is why I'm walking you through this process. So if you can visualize it and you can kind of feel the pain by doing some sort of meditation, I like meditation. The more you can feel it, relive it in your mind, and play it back through a memory, the more powerful it is. Write it down and just summarize it. Okay? 10 minutes at most. Everybody understand that? So in the beginning, I had you guys spit it out. Then I said, I need you to go back and visualize it and feel it and go up to whatever age you are, 4 or 5, up to where you are kind of now, and just walk through it. And what is the one dominating thought that runs your life? It's not about loving your family and being loyal to your spouse and your kids. That's like human stuff. That's like a given. I'm just saying, what is it that's always like, oh man, I can't do this. I can't step on a track because I might get run over. I can't get on a plane because I can't do this. I am so fearful of rejection. I rather just avoid it altogether. And these are the problems. And specifically think about some of the, I remember some of the limiting beliefs I had. I remember in middle school, a little bit in high school, when they would come and do the fundraiser. So you were in the band, you're on the football team, the basketball team, um, choir, whatever it was. And they'd always have you sell some sort of terrible stuff like flavored popcorn. And so the the thing is, whoever sells the most, you're going to get a prize. And they basically bribe you. And then you had that one like really kick-ass salesman kid. He did great. And then you always had the kid where their parents bought everything. You know what I'm talking about. Today it's out of control. I mean, I just bought like a $50 candle. It was like this big for I think my niece. I'm like, my God, like it's a $3 candle, like the profit margins on these. But I had a lot of anxiety about sales because there was no training. Nobody ever taught me. And here's the problem. A lot of your perceptions with sales, nobody ever really taught you. They never taught it in school. But then someone, hey, we need to raise $5,000 so we can go to Disney. And they go, hey, kids, go out and sell it. They already know you're going to sell it to your parents. They don't believe you're ever going to make it. And this is what we carry our entire lives. That baggage we had as kids that we suck at sales because I couldn't sell enough spaghetti tickets. I couldn't sell enough scented candles. I couldn't sell enough popcorn. And nobody taught you. The only thing that ever sold well was me with chocolate because I would eat half of it and all the other kids would eat it too. And it was, you're so bored in school. That's what you do anyways. But yeah, and then I just Jonathan said I'd eat my profits. They're like, you're missing 3 candy bars. I go, I don't think so. I think it got shorted out of the stack. So all that stuff adds up, and we have to like either you're going to release this baggage or you're going to dump it back on yourself. So let's go into the present. Ooh, this is a fun one. This one to me is kind of the most powerful one of them all. So if you go into your present, that right now is the word in itself should describe what's going on. So let me ask you this. Honest question. If you got diagnosed with a terminal disease today, they go, dude, you ain't going to make it. It's you at best have 90 days. Let me ask you, how grateful would you be for this present moment? Would you really appreciate it? The damn word's called a present. I'm talking about A Christmas Carol with the Charles Dickens, and we're talking around Christmas time, and we're talking about the present. See, this is like, in a way, you got to think about the Christmas Carol's like the Matrix long before it ever came out. Do you understand that? Like, there's underlying tones in this. I've had people much smarter than me like, dude, this is one of the like greatest movies of all time. I go, it's not that entertaining. They go, no, Rick, you don't understand the story behind it. It is powerful. And think back in the early 1900s to record, write, and do something like this. Powerful. And to think how relatable it is in 2025. I love old shit, man, because it just tells a story. And we're learning from over 100 years ago. You have the present. If you were told you were terminally ill right now, would you treat today differently? And the answer is the definitive hell yes. So what are you waiting for? You're all marked terminal. Every one of you watching the stream, like, I don't mean to be depressed. We're not going to be here forever. So you can be that person that just avoids, I'm never going to talk about passing away or anything. Not that I want to sit there and like brag about it or pick out my caskets and do everything, but everybody says I would die for my children. Let me ask you, would you live for them? Because dying's a guarantee. When you say I would die for my kids, that is not a statement. It's kind of dumb. I think any parent would stand in the way of anyone harming anyone in their family for the most part. But when you say I would die for my kids, you're going to die anyway. So why don't you live for them and show them the path? And if wholesaling is the path, give it everything you got. Treat today as almost like your last day. And maybe you got a shot at tomorrow. And I promise you, but we all make assumptions. We have all the time in the world. Everything will be good. I got plenty of time. Bull crap. It's a lie. We do not value the present time. That's why you blow people off. You treat them like crap. You text over calling people. You send an email versus visiting them anymore. And all this stuff adds up. I promise you, if you guys would embrace the present, what if I told you this is the last time you ever get to talk to your mother or your daughter? How powerful of a conversation would you have with them? Because the truth of the matter is, I don't know if you're going to be able to talk to them again. And it's just the truth. And I know nobody ever wants to talk about this. I like, Rick, this is a little bit deep for wholesaling. It's the damn truth. If you get upset because you got to call 150 people in a day and you think you're wasting your time, dude, get out of wholesaling, because you have to take a risk to get the reward. You have to. And nobody wants to do it in the present day. Let's just be brutally honest. Who in here wants to make 500 cold calls? You don't. It horrifies you. But there's a select few who goes, I got to meet my future self 10 years from now, and he's screaming at me to make these cold calls right now. That's how you got to start thinking. So the question is, did you take advantage of your present day? Did you do absolutely everything you had in wholesaling? Did you reach out and get all your government lists? Did you get all your lists and X leads? Did you do everything in your humanly power to make today as powerful as possible? Did you reach out and connect? If you're older and your parents are older, like, dude, get on a plane, go see them, do something. You assume they're going to be around forever. They're not. I mean, I've been through this, man. I would do anything to talk to my mother right now. And I'm just telling you, got to start embracing and talking to people like this. I'm so passionate with anyone I talk with wholesaling. It's hard for me to calm it down. You guys see me in November in Orlando. You'll see the same thing. And then I'm going to be in San Antonio in October. I think 17th, 18th, 16th, 17th, something, 17th, 18th. And they go, Rick, you spend too much time talking to people. It's who I am. You know why? Because I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again. I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. So I'm going to take advantage of the present called today. Most of you squander today. You piss it out the window. And this is the problem. What you're doing today is going to dictate if you're going to quit wholesaling or not in the future. Do you understand me? The actions you take today will dictate your future. If you don't want to believe it, it's the absolute truth. I guarantee you one thing. You will not live forever, and your day will come. The question is, what are you going to do with today, tomorrow, and the next day? And that's it. I swear to God, if you guys would just, now it doesn't mean you disregard the future. We're getting ready to walk into that one. But if you can't take advantage of what you have right now, don't worry about the future. So many times, my biggest pet peeve, listen, as great as these super phones, smartphones on, they're one of the worst pieces of technology in human history, because I don't know, I'm an old school. I used to go to the gym when I was in high school. It was, dude, everybody helped everybody. Everybody pushed everybody. And now I go in the gym and all I get is, and people are killing 5 minutes between sets. They're not even working out anymore. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not a hypocrite. TikTok's a real problem, but you have to limit your screen time. So it's very easy for us to get distracted because these modern day devices are all over you. And when you go to dinner, if you're sitting there with a phone and constantly looking at it, you suck. Don't like that, because if you come to my house and you want to hang out with me and my family, I need you present. I can go anytime. I can sit there on a phone in front of you too. But to me, it's disrespectful. I get more grief during Thanksgiving. During Thanksgiving, I make everybody put their phone in a basket, because there's nothing more important than the people that sit around my table at Thanksgiving. And if we can't be present and share our stories and our love, what the hell are we here for? So I know I'm getting deep on this, but I truly feel this way. So I want you to be present. So part of me working and connecting with people who need to sell their homes, I'm all in when I'm on the phone with them or in person. I'm all in. This phone's gone. You don't even see it. It's in the back pocket on vibrate. It could shake till it breaks off my back pocket. But you got to be present, because that's how you solve people's problems. And that's one of the biggest takeaways I want you to take away from today's live. For God's sakes, guys, I'm great about planning the future. The past, you learn from the past. I go, okay, that was stupid. Right? And you kind of make fun of yourself and you go forward. But if you sit there, I remember in my 20s, I constantly perpetuated any mistake I made, and it's normal. But you're going to learn from it. The question is, are you going to learn that repetitive behavior like your family does? or are you going to grow from it? And that's what you do with your past. However you get there painful, dig it out. Now in the present, ask yourself, just start with today. Did I fully take advantage of today? And what did I do that I probably know that didn't help my wholesaling career? And if I keep doing this, it's going to create a problem down the road for me. And if you put that in there and you understand that, it's going to be a massive game changer. What's hurting me right now? Be brutally honest, because this one you can't run from. You already know what you did to hurt yourself today. If you spent 2 hours screwing around on YouTube, let's do it. If you spent asking Chat GPT questions on how to solve a problem with your girlfriend, that's not going to help you. Like, you got to find, like, how was I productive today in wholesaling? How many lists did I pull? How many sellers did I meet with? And if I do this every day, you can see a pattern that will develop. And it's eventually, that pattern is called your future. And guys, you can look at this past wholesaling, your relationships, your finances, everything, and you have to understand. So now we're going to go to the future. And this is where it gets ugly and painful. Yeah. And this is what ties it all together. So I now want you to take everything you learned in your past that you decided to program in your mind that we haven't really fixed, addressed, or changed. We haven't dealt with the confrontation of why we think it's our limiting belief. And then everything we're doing in the present, starting with today and really the last few weeks or 2025, and go, crap. And now we are going to go into the future. And this is like back to the future, or the part where they go in the future in time. And God, what's his name? Who's the character in Back to the Future? What's his stage name? Somebody share it with me. Now it's killing me. This is what ADHD does to you. It wasn't Wally. Who was it? Marty. There you go. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. So Marty has to go back. He goes into the future, and the doc pulls him aside. He goes, listen, we got a problem with your kids. We got to deal with this like right now. And so when you go in the future, all your daily decisions in your past, it's this massive snowball. So when you find out your kid's like this crazy person that wants to hurt people or something like that, you're like, crap. What they're trying to show you is all your daily actions in your past, you've created this monster. And I need you to look at it. So I'm going to use an analogy, which is controversial. Don't get upset. Don't get all personal when I say it. Like when a dog pees on the floor, you have like a certain owners that'll shove their face down into it. Like, it's what I'm kind of doing to you. I don't endorse that. I don't believe in that stuff. You just drive fear in the animal when you do that. But the reality is, let's go into the future. Everything you've done in the past, everything you've done in the present, from today all the way up to 2025. And if you keep this pattern, what is your life going to look like in 10 years? Because honestly, if you're broke right now and you've been broke the last 5 years, but you're going to keep doing the same things you do, why in the hell do you think it's going to change in 10 years? It's not. And what I want to tell you is pain versus pleasure, right? So if we talk about pain versus pleasure, right now, every one of you, for the most part, what is driving you is your pain versus pleasure. You will do anything to avoid pain, anything humanly possible. What's going to happen is your desire to avoid pain is going to push you away from any type of pleasure in your life. And you think, well, Rick, to get pleasure, I have to go through pain. Aha! We have a discoverable moment here, which is the real problem in human society. Let me repeat that. To get the pleasure and everything you want in your life, you're going to have to go through pain. There's no avoidance. But Rick, I'm wired to avoid pain at all costs of my life. Welcome to the human race. You see, I believe God put us on this earth. If he gave you every answer, what's the point of being here, right? So life's always about lesson. Think about this. You're born with no knowledge, broke, and buck naked. And then by the time you leave, hopefully you learn from all your life lessons, you gain your wisdoms. And I'm not here to talk about the afterlife, but I don't think it ends right here. So if we progressively learn the entire time, the idea is walk away with wisdom and really learn. And here's the crazy part is, I love wholesaling. I love all the money. I love everything, all the real estate I own, all the crap. It's amazing. I'm 55 going on 56. But I've learned at my age, my happiest part of my life is like right in here. It is never about anything I own. And once you figure that out, you get a whole new appreciation for life. I spent my entire 20s, 30s, and 40s chasing money. I'm not overly proud of it. But once I learned how to get really good at wholesaling and learn how to keep money and grow my net worth, the game changed. I play by a different set of rules than everybody. The entire society, especially the United States, is set up to screw you over. That whole credit score, one of the biggest scams you'll ever see. Here's the best part is I don't even have a great credit score. Maybe it's like 700. I barely owe any money to anybody. I have more assets than I know what to do with. And some of you guys brag about your 800 credit scores. It means you are the perfect customer for banks. That's all it means. Do you understand that? Like your credit score is like, it's crazy when you think about it. And so where was I going with this? The idea is everything is a summation, pain versus pleasure. But if you want to get pleasure, you have to go through pain. But I'm wired to avoid pain my entire life. So you're going to have to embrace and walk through it. So one of the really powerful things with Tony Robbins is like at the end of day one, they bring you outside and they put out a fire pit and you got to walk on hot coals. And everything in your body screams, don't do it. And it really messes with your mind. Now, I've done this in multiple exercises other than walking on fire. I've stuck hot fire in my mouth. I've done some other things. And I will tell you, your mind is so powerful that the fear is what drives most of your actions on a daily basis. And your fear to avoid pain is what's ultimately preventing you from being a great wholesaler. So the idea is we walk on that. We follow careful instructions. They give you 45 minutes instructions before you do it. And you have to go through such a confidence level. And there was people getting burned there. It freaked me out. I'm not going to lie to you. And I went through it and I did it. And it felt good. And it's just a great analogy of how everything you do with wholesaling. So the problem is for everything you want, it's going to be on the other side. And if you're not willing to go through the pain, it's just not going to happen. But Rick, I'm trying to avoid pain. Here's the secret. Run into it. Find out what your most limiting belief is. And real simple. The last final step is, so think about this. If I'm overweight and say I'm obese, which is a majority of the United States, and trust me, I've had my own issues. My family, we fight it. And I had to make a choice a long time ago. I was 60 pounds overweight. Actually a really good wholesaler, but I couldn't translate it to my body. And I go, why am I so weak? Is there something wrong with me? And I just finally made a decision. I have to make daily changes and I'm never going to go on a diet. It's just a daily decision what I put in my mouth. Now, I got active. It took me a long time to figure that out. But when I did the regression, even with Tony Robbins, when I was overweight, I don't want to weigh 500 pounds. I don't. And if I keep eating like this and I gain 3 or 4 pounds every year, it adds up. It adds up terribly. And then the point where is, okay, well, I don't want to work out and I don't want to monitor what I eat because I get pleasure from it. But eventually, your pleasure will turn into pain. And it will turn into so much pain that you don't have a choice but other than to fix it. See, because you're going to go from 1,000 problems to one problem. And if you can't live for the foreseeable future, don't worry about wholesaling. You got bigger problems in your life. And it's just the truth. You have to make a decision to go through the pain to get to the pleasure. We all have to make decisions. So I want you to take those limiting beliefs that have stacked up from your previous past, the stuff you're screwing up in the present. Just admit it to you. You don't have to put it on the comments and go, man, if I keep this same course, not only am I going to be broke, overweight, and not a great example. What about some of you young people that want to have kids down the road? Dude, I've already told you. I give you my dad advice. Here's the best dad advice you can ever get. I can show your kids how to do it. Lead them to do it. Stop telling them. It sucks. My dad told me my entire life what to do and did the complete opposite. You want to know why I was so screwed up till well in my 20s? I just had no direction in life. And I'm here to tell you that So if you're 18 and struggling right now, if you want to be a dad in 10 years, be the dad you need to be now. So why not just go ahead and be the wholesaler you can be right now? I get it. It's painful to do the cold calls. It's painful to call the PPL leads. It's painful to do direct mail. It's painful to go door knocking. But let me ask you, in 10 years, if you're even thinking about getting married, does someone want to be married to someone who's broke, that has no direction, that can't get past it in life? I don't know about you, but like if you go on Tinder or something like that, I'm sure you can line up the losers out the door. People want to be with winners. Why would a wholesaler be any different? You want what very few people can attain in life. You want it all. And you know what? You freaking deserve it. And that's how it should be. So what you got to do is take that limiting belief, basically make it where it's not, doesn't have any power over you anymore. And then you replace it. You replace it with your new belief, and you got to burn this sucker. So this is the one where I want you to write on your bathroom mirror an erasable dry marker, not permanent Sharpie, because it's going to be a problem. And you got to replace your limiting beliefs. Now, what are we going to replace it with? This is the greatest part. If you put in another shitty thought in there and a belief that's not going to come true, think about the statements you make. Say your spouse gave you some news and she's like, oh my God, like we're broke. We're never going to have any money. There's no money in the checking account. What are we going to do? We're not going to be able to survive. Is it really the truth or not? Now, she's not happy where the funds are. God knows I've been there. But like, are we exaggerating it to the point for drama and effect? And this is what happened. When you don't have a lot going in your life, you got to create drama to stimulate you. So you got a choice. Either create drama in your wholesale business, like actually makes you money. Like, oh my God, I got to do this market. I got to do these probates. Or you can wait till your wife drops a bomb and like, there's only $200 in a checking account. How the hell are we going to pay the rent this month? How are we going to feed the kids? We're broke. We're going to have to go on food stamps. We're going to have to sell the house. I'm going to have to move in with my mom. And it's like, okay, let's just mimic the drama. I get it. We need to find a way to earn more money. This is what I need to do. I'm going to go forward and have a plan. That's what we need. But you can just jump in the drama and go, oh my God, what are we going to do? I'm going to have to call my mom. We're going to have to live on a houseboat, which I wouldn't think it would be a bad thing at all. But you have to replace your limiting belief. So find out what's causing you the most pain and address it and find out if it's real. How do I replace it? It's the pain versus pleasure. So for you to get pleasure, you have to go through the pain. What's the pain? Going through marketing all the people, pulling the list, and showing up every day and doing what we ask of you. Period. But Rick, I want to avoid pain. Okay, then you don't want wholesaling. That's the truth of it. Pain and pleasure are the biggest leverage over your life. And you're automatically wired to avoid pain. So Rick, how do I get pleasure? Well, there's an anomaly in life. You can get all the pleasures you want through alcohol, drugs, drama, but it ain't going to help you. It's just so that keeps you a busy person. If you're that busy, you're beyond broke at that point. And you got to understand, you can choose drugs, alcohol, or drama, or you can find a plan through wholesaling to actually make your life better. I never said it was going to be easy, but if you'll show up daily present and treat it with a kick-ass attitude, learn from your past, meaning I'm going to learn, meaning I don't want to repeat it. Most of us repeat exactly what our parents did. And if you're taking financial advice from your parents and they're broke, that's not called loyalty. It's called stupidity. Now I did it. I had to go through the whole iterations and go, that was the dumbest move I make. And right now I'm going to be honest with you. If you're thinking about going to college, carefully weigh in why you want to go. Colleges now are the new high school. I talked to somebody yesterday. He's paying $50,000 a year to go to the University of Tampa for a liberal arts degree to be a wholesaler. I go, do your parents just not want you in the house, or like so you're going to drop $250,000 to get you out of the house for 4 years? I don't know. I guess people don't like their kids anymore. I just want you to understand like what's going on. So if you guys get a chance, I would like you to go and just watch the Charles Dickens movie. Now, the movie itself is not that exciting, but if you look at the backdrop and go, I want you to think about this. Think of the most powerful dream you've ever had where you kind of go back in time and you're like, it just like, remember, your mind doesn't know the difference between being real and not. And so if you'll go through this exercise, spend 20 or 30 minutes to do it, it's extremely valuable. And the idea is it gives you a clear path. So what you have to do is go, hey, um, um, so Kyle said, uh, when Kyle says, I assume you mean autophagy. So I just went through this. I went through a 5-day fast, and I went through 2 stages of slight hallucination. I'm not going to lie to you, because it rewires your brain, how it connects with your belly. And the point of autophagy is to chase around all the bad stuff in your body and eat it. But it's not overly pleasurable, only because your entire body is wired. I never went more than 2 days without eating. So I went 5, and my body, it panicked, it freaked out, creates autophagy, and it reprograms your entire microbiomes and stuff like that. I've learned all this from wholesaling. Nobody taught me this in school. Anybody could have taught me this in school. And the thing is, a lot of the things we need to fix ourselves are all within us. We just don't know how to access. Oh my God. Someone goes, I couldn't go 3 hours without eating. I go, well, I already know where you're going. Like, you got to understand, you can go an entire month without food. You need water. Don't get me wrong. Dry fast, a whole different level. And you got to understand. Um, yeah, I did this. So I did it as more of a human test to me, but I'm at the age 55 where, I've got some stuff floating around my body that's not by choice. So here's how I look at it. People are okay going in, getting open heart surgery, getting stents put in their veins and stuff. And if you go 5 days without eating, your body's going to have to figure stuff out to heal it. You rest your entire colon. You give your digestive tract a rest. Your brain resets. You highly activate stem cells after the 3rd day. Now, you have to build up to it. I only eat once a day anyway, so it's easy for me. Day 4, I had some issues, as expected. I just massive brain fog, like trying to get my energy leveled. I did work out halfway through it, which was probably a big mistake, and I learned a lesson with it. But it's fun. So 48 hours is the sweet spot. Like 2 to 3 days, you can do some serious damage if you've never fasted before. But guys, I'm just telling you, people tell you breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's the biggest lie you've ever been told. Breakfast wasn't even around till like 120 years ago. It didn't exist. It's completely made up. So, okay. I'm not here to talk about me, though. Let's just go back to this. So ask yourself, is your past belief, how much is it stolen from you? How many opportunities have you missed out on it? And what is it stealing from you right now? And what I need to do is, you need to find a statement. And I'm going to put this phrase up on the board here. I choose this new belief with every cell in my body. If you don't wire everything you believe in, it's not going to come to fruition. So I worked for a company for 12 years. Probably the first 2 years, I believe what they sold. And after a while, I used to tell my bosses, I go, I think it's a scam. And I never sold it with my whole heart because I didn't believe in it. I don't like ripping off people, but a lot of companies do it. So what did I work in? I worked in the automotive rental and leasing space. The amount of crap they sell you in financing and the amount of crap they sell you in insurance, it's all one big fat lie. And if you ever have a claim, they're going to do everything in their power not to pay you, just like regular auto insurance companies do. So in fact, I have a total card in my family, totaled 3 months ago. I've had to go and out replace the car. I just moved on. I'm still waiting for my final check. They don't give a crap. Big ass company too. I hate insurance. Because what if I didn't have a lot of money? I'd be in big trouble. So you got to choose that new belief, and you got to believe it with every fiber in your body without any hesitation, and ask, what is your past limiting belief stolen from you in wholesaling? Are you still currently acting it? And what's it going to cost me if I don't break this pattern? Is it going to cost you a relationship? Let me ask you, How long do you think a significant other is going to stick around if you don't make any money? You're in a new world today. I will tell you, to make money in 2025 is a whole different world than it was when I started making money when I was a young man. And I admit it. And all the thing I know is true is change is always going to be here. Look at the wholesaling industry. Look what's happened in the last 5 years. I mean, I think it's incredible. You now have a 100% comprehensive wholesaling course that's the best one in the world. I know I'm biased, for free. So someone goes, well, I have limited capital and I can't buy the programs. Okay, I took that away. Do you guys know I offer a partnership to do deals with people, to basically push them as my partner, to work deals in their market so we can partner up together and I put up the money? Does anybody even know I do that? I don't know. Does anybody know I own a software that will solve a lot of the problems you already have in your current wholesaling business, because you guys get nickeled and dimed to death on everything? Oh, you got to pay for skip trace. Oh, you got to pay for these specialty leads. Oh, you got to pay for these probate leads. And I developed the damn thing out of pure frustration. And everybody told me, don't do it, Rick. Don't do it. You're going to get killed. You have no idea. These are the big boys. I don't need to tell you how that one worked out. I also told offering a free wholesale course would devastate the wholesaling community, and it's going to backfire because you're going to go broke. I would argue me and Zach have the most successful business model in all of wholesaling, because I'm not considered a coach and a guru. I'm a person who actually does deals. See, coaches, their primary job is to sell their program. That's it. That's their entire focus. My focus is to elevate the wholesaling community, do deals with you guys, earn your trust, and show you how you can get through all this crap. And if I teach you for free, God bless you. If you do a deal with me, God bless you. It's the same way I treat my regular sellers. Same way. I'm going to help people out. Who gives a crap if I help someone out for free? It always comes back to me. And so I could just charge you guys 10 grand. Would it make you feel better? It's so funny how it's so funny how this works out. Anyways, yeah, I could talk to you about fasting all day long. So I do regular fast. So I do fasting 6 days a week anyways. So I'm on the 4-hour eat window, and I enjoy it. I don't say enjoy it. It's just, it creates discipline, and I know when to eat, when not to eat. And the problem is most of us tax our bodies by eating way too much. So I'll leave it alone, but we'll talk about it. But there's all sorts of great things you can do with your body, man. It's like, to me, it's absolutely, but you've got to go past the power of the mind. Most of you think you're going to die if you don't eat. You won't die. And most people think when you fast for a super long time, like I did, it's starvation that's going to hurt you. Actually, here's the thing is, when you're hungry, it actually goes away after a while. You ever dealt with a child that threw a temper tantrum? If you stop acknowledging them, they'll stop. Your hunger does the same thing. But we've conditioned ourselves to constantly feed ourselves, and our body never gets a break. It's one of the reasons why we have such a problem. Number two is we're eating crap that's never meant to go in our body. Processed foods, like eating 15 meals in one shot. Your body doesn't know what to do with. It's why we have all these allergies. You have gluten. Let me just tell you guys one thing. And I love bread. Bread was never meant to be put in the human body the way it is right now. It has to go through such a refinery process. It overloads your body. Normally, if you went out and you baked a piece of like unleavened bread, like they did way back in the day, okay, you could eat like a piece like that and you're completely full. It's just too much it takes your body a long time to process it. But if we have refined foods and processed, your body's like, you just get hungry. Perfect example, and I'll stop at this. My wife knows, do not put a bag of chips in front of me, because like I have an addictive personality. I start on one chip, I could eat the whole bag and I still want 2 more. So chips never satisfy my hunger. It's like an endless thing. And once you kind of learn about it, but guys, I did this as I got older. When I was young, I had to go. I've tried the corporate job. I've tried the college. None of it has worked out. I've tried everything my parents told me. It just sucked. I took really bad advice. I effed up. And then I decided to do it. And then once I took my leap in the wholesaling, I let go of my past and I constantly worked on my present. And then I go, I want to introduce myself to if I could meet myself 10 years from now, what would it look like? And can you answer that question? If I talk to myself and keep it that way and go, hey, Rick, so say you're 20 or 21 right now. What is your 31-year-old self going to say to you? Don't worry. Don't make those phone calls. We'll make it up tomorrow. Don't worry. You can quit. We'll do drop ship. Or I heard of this AI is the new arbitrage where I can make a crap load of money. Dude, make a decision. There is no dispute that real estate is the king of more wealthy people in the entire world than any other vehicle. Get more specific. Wholesaling is the greatest opportunity, in my opinion, for anyone who wants to get ahead, who has to minimize their risk and maximize their reward, but is so looking forward to the journey of wholesaling. And that's the vision I bring to you guys. It's what I do, it's what I'm best at. And I want you to understand that. So if you understand that, hold on, let me bring it back up here. You have to choose your new belief with every cell in your body. And let me put this up here. By associating massive pain with keeping the belief and massive pleasure with changing it, your brain becomes motivated to make that shift. So you have to switch the pain and the pleasure. So now you guys have a homework assignment. I want you to go out and find this movie. You can find it on the internet. It's pretty easy to get out there. It's not a movie where you go, that was a greatly written movie and I understand it. Think about the first time you watched The Matrix. I didn't even understand. What the hell is he talking about? A red pill and a blue pill. I was young. Dude, I look at that movie now, probably one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. It's unbelievable. And he's talking about seeing yourself into the future. And if you do what everybody else do, you're going to be just a sheep. You're going to be programmed. But if you want to break away, you're going to go through some pain. You're definitely going to sweat it, but the reward, you'll be in control of your entire life. And that's the only message I'm trying to communicate to you guys so you can understand. I want to leave you with this. Think about this. If you could meet your future self in 10 years, or your future self talk to you right now in 10 years, and you decide not to make any change, what the hell do you think they'd say to you? Because I promise you, 10 years is a massive motivator. I waited 12 years to make that decision in wholesaling. And if I can save someone from not making a 12-year mistake, guys, the rules are rewritten. College, they're, in my opinion, very, very low return on investment. Sorry. But if you want to go in business, why you would even go into college, I get it. Your parents want you out of the house. Let's just be brutally honest. You are not going to get that education. They're so far behind. It's so entrapped in the government with the loans and the schemes. And you sit there for 4 years and you scratch your head and everybody walks away trying to get a sales job when they're said and done. We really need to relook how we look at college, especially even high school. I mean, I look back in high school, I thought it was like, I didn't think it was tough. I was never challenged in any capacity, nor in college. If anything, I was taught to be a sheep, to go out and pay my taxes and just get in line and just do what you're supposed to do. Bullshit, guys. You can do whatever you want. I'm living proof of it. I got one of the lowest SAT scores, definitely in my family, but I'm by far the wealthiest. And I'm going to make a bold statement. I'm probably one of the happiest people in my family. And it's not from the money. It's just because I found my happy. I understand you could take everything away from me tomorrow. Would I be happy about it? No, but I'm not going to be sad. I'll just get it back. But I'm not dependent on having a boat and a car. This is why I don't use any of the stuff to try to be flat. What's the point? Like, my house might not be impressive to you. It's my home. It's where I hang out with my family. It's not here to impress you. The only thing that's impressed upon you is, I remember paying off my mortgage with my wife. She thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And I look now, I'm like, I could pay off my mortgage every month. Like, I thought it was the greatest feat when I did it. It took me 3 years to build up the money. And the wife goes, well, that's kind of a joke because you could do it every month. I go, okay, easy. You got to appreciate where we came from. And my wife married me when I was dead broke and I depended on her. So she's the love of my life. She's helped me through a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to think. Now I got to think of my anniversary. It's July, right? No, yeah, we just passed it. So next year I'm coming up on 30 years. So it's pretty amazing. So if you can find someone to fit someone in your life, but like I'm telling you guys, most of my skill sets that I even share with you, I've learned through wholesaling because I had to be open to create massive change. And once I created my business and I could pay my bills, I could breathe and I go, okay, hey, what can I do? Like I do 3 blood tests a year privately. It ain't cheap. It's a lot of money, but like I try to get ahead of all my problems. I am so sick of doctors being reactive. You got this, you got that. Um, I eat a lot of fish. I find out I'm way over on my mercury levels and I can't eat fish for the next 3 months. I'm pissed. But I don't want mercury poisoning. So like I kind of go through it and you look at the stuff you eat. And I'm like, crap, Tony Robbins had the same problem too. So you just kind of learn. And if you can learn how to get proactive with your wholesaling business and not quit it, and then get proactive with your relationships in your life, your spiritual journey, whatever you believe in, and then get your relationships right, and then stay ahead of your body because this is only one vehicle God gave you, just fix it. And if you're like me, you create a lot of problems of your life, just take your time and have fun fixing it because that's how I look at it. So guys, I just love wholesaling. And my only thought to you is just understand the only way you screw up wholesaling is by quitting. Every one of you are going to have a tendency to quit. It's your job not to. Just show up every day. Period. I promise you it will work out in the long run if you put the work in. If you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, go somewhere else. It's not going to happen in wholesaling. I'm just going to tell you. You will learn skill sets. You will learn how to talk to people. You will learn how to market. Marketing is my specialty. I can turn on a computer and create 30 to 50 leads in less than 24 hours. Did I learn that overnight? Hell no. I do it the old school way, just like you guys do it. But I still have a staff that goes out and does it locally, virtually. And guys, go over to freewholesaling.com. We'll show you how to get this done. So I'm passionate about this, but I would like you all to go on that experiment, that journey, and figure it out because it's powerful. So sometimes we have to get out of our environment and kind of go through this meditative process. And it's weird, but it changed my life. So if you guys get any value from it, I want you to do it. If you got value from this episode, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button, share it with other people. The greatest compliment you can give to me is just hitting the subscribe button. We'll be back on tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Flip with Rick channel. And I really, really appreciate you guys. And guys, if you want to learn how to get started in wholesaling, go over to freewholesaling.com. And remember, as long as you don't quit, you're still in the game. This is Rick Ginn. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.